All right. Hello and welcome. All aboard. Welcome to the Fox Valley Short Line Railroad, a standard career playthrough of Derail Valley Simulator. My name is Swift Fox, and I'll be your conductor and engineer for this evening's 2-hour journey on the rails. Please have a seat, get comfortable, and have your tickets ready. The train is now departing. Hey, good evening, Wild. Great to see you. Anybody else in the chat? Go ahead, give me a yell while I get things started here. I've paused the game, it's ready to go. So, for those of you who were with me 2 weeks ago, thank you for coming back. Thank you for patronizing this stream. We are here in Food Factory in Derail Valley, and we are getting ready to take 2 loads. Freight load, which I think we're attached to right now, that's going to steel mill, and some tanker cars, empty tanker cars that are going to Oil Well North, which is on the way. So we're going to make a split run today. I don't think we have them in our, no, we don't have them in our inventory. So we'll have to go get those. Hey, how you doing, Ember? Thank you for coming by and joining us. All right, so we have, oh, which one do we have? I don't think it's this one. I think it's this one. We'll check that. And these are the empty cars to Oil Well North. I think that's the set we're taking. Yeah, those are going to Harbor and Town. Yeah, okay, so we're taking these 68. And yeah, so let me go see where they are. Oof. I gotta look at the thing here. All right, so this is FH88. Does that match? Oh no, it does not. What does it match? What is it? 88? 88. All right, let's see which one's 88. This one's 88. Okay. 29. Let's check this one. Nope, that one's 68. Oh, that's alcohol anyway. All right, so let's find out where these are. We may have to actually build a train. I thought 85. All right, you know what? This is silly. The information's right here. C20 and D3S. Okay. All right. Cool. Not an issue. Okay. So one of them is over here. So it's these here. Yes, FH85. Good. And then the other ones are back here. These over here. Oop. I ran into them. LH68. LH68. Okay. So, all right, let's do some work. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. All right, are we detached? Yes. All right, we just drive away. All right. Brakes off. How are we doing on fuel? We should be able to make it. really like to get someplace where we can find the DM3. That would really boost our abilities on this train. Okay, we want to go straight there. And we want to pick up straight here. And we want to pick up those cars there. Apply some brake. Slow us down. Slow us down a little bit more. Too much. Oh, we had a long way to go. Alright, this could get dicey. I think I took a bigger load than I expected, but I think I looked at this and we can make this work. So I have to send these trains down the track here so I can back them back into the D yard. And you can hear this single locomotive is struggling. All right. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a challenge. Okay, hop up here. We need to go to the right. And this is in D3S. I'm just coasting. I haven't given it any throttle at all. Wild, you playing baseball tonight? Sim baseball. All right. All right, that's set to go that way, so we don't want to go that way. That's right. So I come in straight through, then go right. Oh, well, good luck. What inning are you in? Okay, this switch to the right, and then a quick switch to the left. Bottom of the sixth, winning 4-1. Good, 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 good. Hope it stays that way for you. A little more slow, a little more slow, a lot more slow. 3, 2, safe. Contact. All right. Here is our train together. Boop. All right. Let me run up to the front. Our end of train light. Oh wait, this isn't this isn't part of our train, is it? No. Okay. Well, that would be bad. 68, 68. All right, so that's not part of our train. Give me that back. You're not the end of my train. You're the end of my train. All right, let's plan our trip. Let's plan our trip where it's not so noisy. All right. So, we are here in Food Factory. We're coming out this way. We need to make a right at this switch, go straight through. And we need to make a left at this switch and go into Oil Well North. Because that's where these cars go. C1S. All right. So we're going into Oil Well North. That is there. So we'll be coming in here. We want to turn to the right and then go into the C yard. And I think it was C1S. C1S. So we want to go left into C1S and then out. Just double check. Yep, C1S. And then we just scoot around the outside. We might as well just stay outside. So we're going to go stay to the right and then all the way back out. All right. And then on the way out, we'll have to make sure we switch this to go left. It's coming out. It needs to go left. So it's set right now, but I think when we go in, it's going to set opposite. All right. This one needs to be set right because we'll be coming through on the right and then into Steel Mill. And Steel Mill, that drop off is at B3I. So Steel Mill. Wasted. How are ya? And we'll be coming in from the top here. So I want to go right and then B3I. So it's right here. So I need to go left, left, and right. B3I. And I can drop off the steel scrap there. All right. So it looks like everything's good. It's getting dark, and nobody likes to take the train in the dark because there's lots to see, and in the dark there's not a whole lot to see at all. So let me shut that off. All right. I'm glad you could join us tonight. So we're here still in Food Factory, and we've got our train put together. In fact, I'm going to back my train up a little bit more just to give us a little more run-up speed. Oh no, I can't because I got that car behind me. Ugh. Okay, well then we're just going to stay here. All right. I'm going to shut the engines down. And we're going to make this trip in the daylight, which is easy because sleeping takes little to no time at all. Would have been a nice night. All right, let's see where we're at. Ugh. And we'll get up bright and early. Go sleep. Good morning. All right, here we are. This is like there's bathrooms and stuff in here. It's kind of weird, kind of fun. This would be a lot of fun in VR. We're not playing it in VR. All right, so here's our train. The sun's just starting to come up. We have everything set, so let's hop in and start our trains up so we're ready to go. Let's pair this loco and we'll operate out of the front loco. Exactly how you fall asleep every day. All right. Turn the brake off. Let's start this one up. Controlling from this train. Brake off. We have no brake on. Let's put some brake on. Lights. Lights. All right, let's get started here. Do we still have the things? Oops. Yes, we do. Okay. So we're going to drop off 7 first. So we'll get that one, get the clock started on that one first. And then we're dropping off this one second. So we have over 600 tons that we're hauling today with our 2 DE2s. This is probably just about the limit that these locos will do. So, tap. All right, muffle some of the sounds. Let's get into the right spot. Lock us in. Brake off. And let's start our journey. And a little throttle to the loco behind us. So how's everybody's day been? Good. Good, wasted. All right, so there's a 30-degree speed limit, or 30 kilometer an hour speed limit here. Uphill. So I doubt we're even going to make it to 30. You could see our clinometer showing the elevation right around 1.5. Train is struggling a little bit. And it should be struggling because this is a lot of weight for for these two little engines. Gradient, yes. What'd I say? Elevation. Let's see if we can lay some sand down for a little more traction. Help us out here. How's our heat? Temperature's good. Grade's getting a little steeper up ahead. This load is 504, and this load is 133, plus 30 tons for each of the locomotives. But we're gaining speed. That's good, especially considering we're pushing +2 on the clinometer. Not overheating. Not overheating. We're heading first to Oil Well North, where we're going to drop off the empty tanker cars. And then we got to go down to Steel Mill with the scrap that we have. Yeah, we're losing a lot of speed. Oh, well, our grade is leveling out, which is helping us because we are starting to overheat. I got to back it off. There we go. We're gaining speed anyway. Okay, temperature is back to normal. We're slowly. Hey, Live, how are you? Thanks for joining in. We've just left Food Factory. Put the train together. And now that it's morning, we're on our way down to our first drop-off at Oil Well North. Now I'm going to caution folks that when you do a split load like this, more often than not, you're going to miss the bonus deadline on the second one. I think we're almost there. Where are we? Yeah, we're almost to the junction. I think it's mostly downhill from there. So we are doing good. We are doing well. Been busy today then, Live. Well, that's all right. Didn't you say you streamed this morning? All right, switch is right. We got a 30-kilometer limit around this turn, which shouldn't be a problem because we're crawling along at 15. This one's still hot. Okay, let me back off. There we go. Oh, she's hot too. Is that light on? I guess it is on. All right, yeah, temperature's going down. And we're starting to level out. Doing well by doing good, yes. All right, now we're going downhill. Give the engines a little bit of a break. Just back them off about half throttle right now. We don't have far to go before we hit this turn. And then we need to be slowed down to 30 when we make the right-hand turn into Oil Well North. Yeah, I think Wasted is asking you because he's here and they know what I stream. I stream for ice cream. All right, we'll shut that off. Where are we at? Okay, plenty of room. Make up some time here as we head on. Head on down the track. Exterior view. Whee! She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Whee! Okay, I can hear her screaming. All right, a little more break. Fine, fine, fine. Did you guys hear the wheels squeaking along the track there? Where are we at? Okay, almost. You can bring our speed down to about 50. There's the junction. We're getting there. We're getting there. This needed 3 bars to get this much weight slowed down. And we're 60. Okay, but we still need to slow down because we need to be at 30 when we enter into the plant. Somebody else was playing Power Wash Simulator. Here we go. All right, good, good, good. Here's it. 30. All right, we're good for the right. Let's see what's in here. DE6, too big. That's fine. We need to come in, slow down. Switch is right. We're going to go into the siding on the right, and that's where we're going to drop off those tank cars in the back. Nice, slow 20 kilometers an hour. All right, the tankers are just coming into the yard. What's my speed down to? 9. Alright, I have to run ahead. Run! F. No more brake. Too far. All right. Two more cars. So here we are, Oil Well North, dropping off these empty tanker cars. We'll use the independent brake because we are actually hooked up to the second locomotive. Give me that. Oh, we have them both in here. Boop. Now you are at the back of the train. All right. Oh, wait a minute. We can't. Well, you know what we can do? We can slowly start that moving while we turn in the job. That was 7. Boop. All right. We had 22 minutes. We did it in 16. I just throw it on the floor. So we made just under 10K. So this is the office for Oil Well North. Anything interesting here? Anything interesting that we're going towards? No. Okay. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, that's right. I need to switch the switch. All right, so we're flying around this outside track. And we need to come here and turn that way. Oil Well North, folks. I didn't see any derelict locomotives here. Can't waste too much time. My train is coming. Eek. Alrighty. Let's get comfortable again. Lock it in. And away we go to Steel Mill. Get the back loco little boost of power. We can go into model railroad mode. Wait a minute, come back. Model railroad mode. I think F4 brings up the screen. I don't usually use this. Throttle. Boop. What's our speed? 21. But yeah, model railroad mode. All kinds of fun. Back to the cab. Oh. Alrighty. Turn that off. The rear loco. Turn the throttle off till we need it. I think it's pretty much a downhill or flat, so we can get some good speed between the bridges. Nice, slow, even acceleration. So let's see, while we're driving, we have 48 minutes to do this one. We just did the last one in 16. We've got a good shot at making this one. But, all right, well, thanks for stopping by, Wasted. And have a good rest of your evening. Stay healthy, be safe. All right, that track that goes off to the left would take us to Goods Factory. We don't want to go there. Yeah, and there's an oddity with this game as far as time. Like, time-wise, in-game, that probably took an hour and a half of game time. Actually, it might have taken 2.5 hours of game time. But I think in real time, that's where the 16 minutes comes in. So the jobs are given to us in real time, but the time, the day, hours is sped up. So it's a hard concept to wrap your head around. In fact, I'm not 100% sure how it all works, and I wish they'd simplify it and just give us, you know, if it's 2 hours in the game clock, then it's 2 hours in the game clock. But honestly, it's vaguely an important concept to have in the game. Vaguely. It really, you're typically, unless you really mess up or pick a load that's too heavy and stall out on a hill, you're going to make it well under time between stations. It gets a little dicey towards the upper levels when you've unlocked a lot of licenses and you have negative modifiers on the amount of time you have to perform the jobs. There's been times where I've struggled up a grade, taken too heavy of a load, and not made it and not gotten the bonus. Or I've done one of these split loads where I haven't gotten the second bonus or the third bonus if I had 2 drop-offs. So, or I've missed a second bonus when I'm trying to place the second job in a single station. So it can happen, but not normally as you're beginning at the levels that we're playing at this game right now. So just cruising along. This girl is doing really well, pulling 500 tons. She's rated for 600 on the flat. I think it's 600 on the flat. Let's see. Yeah, so she's rated for 1,200 on the flat, 300 tons up a 2% grade. So I've got 2 of them. So we've got 600 tons up a 2% grade. And then if the track is wet, everybody says don't go by this number anyway because it's a lot lower than the 250 tons that it's rated at. Well, here we are, cruising along 50. We almost to the next bridge. Where are we? Yes, we are. So after the next bridge, we hit the incline. I might have to get the second engine in. Oops. Let's do another fly around. Oop, come on back. Some good pictures, you know. Here we go. Screenshot. Screenshot. Back in the cab. All right, let's watch the clinometer. Here's the calling out for the grade. I really do want to back off on the throttle, but I don't. So I don't want to get caught out by here's the grade there. I don't want to get caught out by the grade. I want to work with the grade. I want to let the grade slow me down normally as I come into steel mill. So this is that's where we did the tutorial several episodes ago. And then this comes down into steel mill. And our switches should be set. Now I'm going to throttle back. There we go. Perfect. All right. So the first switch is set to the right. Excellent. Yay! Congratulations, Wild. On to the ALCS. Good for you. All right. Next, we need to go to the right. That's set right. 2 right, 1 left. That's what I'm seeing. Here's steel mill. This is where the game starts, where you start your career, and you don't come back here very often. All right, so we want track 3I, which is right there. Switch to the right, right, and left. Perfect. We should go right down this track. Let's apply a little brake now. And here we are. Add some independent brake here for the rear engine because the train brake isn't controlled by that engine. Oops. It's a lot of weight. A lot of weight. This little engines are trying to slow down. We're getting it though. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Brakes are on. Let's go in and turn this one in. Good job. Well, that was a chancy run with the amount of weight and then the hills, but here we did it in 29 minutes and we had 48. So, shushing 23K. 23K added to the 81 that we had. We are now over $100,000 in our account. We are getting there, folks. We are getting there for sure. All right. All right, what do we have here? All right, where does it want us to put it? B85. Yeah, well, we're on the wrong side of the train to make this one work. All right. Where else can we go? These go to harbor. That's interesting. It's about the same weight we already had. This one's going to harbor also. Machine factory, those are load and prepare, but I don't think we want to go there. You know what? Let's continue on. Our engines are already in the right direction. Let's go find this on B20, so it's the next track over from where we're at right now, and take this one down the harbor. How's that sound, everybody? So that would be this one right here, 570 tons. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's see what's in the back. Let's see if we can't. Where's our... What might be hide? Aha. Hey, better yet, how about we unlock another loco? What do you think? Another loco? We've been looking for this bad boy. Let us do it. Let us do it. All right, so, all right. First, well, it'll turn them off anyway. All right. Confirm. All right, so we need to... Yes. Pay off our debts. Yes, more trains. I love trains. Okay. So we did this one. And we have a little bit more to pay off on that one. Nice. Confirm. Now we can get more licenses. Licenses. We want the DM3. 30K for the DM3 license. Yes. Oh, insert wallet. Boop. Confirm. Huzzah! We are now the proud engineers of the next up engine. Let's go get her. Uh-oh. Okay. So we're going to need to do a little bit of work because we're going to want the gadgets that we bought on this locomotive. So let's... Oop, wrong way. That new locomotive smell. Okay, let's see. Looks like electronics, starter. Dash light, cab light, let there be light. So here we are. All right, so while we're here, let's look at the DM3. All right, because this is supposed to be kind of educational as well. All right, so the main electronics, that's your main power. That's this switch on the top. There's a green light above it. These fuses don't do anything. The next switch to the right is the starter switch, and that's push the button, the engine starts up. Let's not do that while I'm still talking. All right, so then we have the dash light switch, the cab light switch, wipers 1 and wipers 2. All right, the switches on this engine are crazy weird. All right, so switch 1, it's kind of a delay. All right, switch 2 is full switches, but if you just do wiper switch 1, then it's a faster delay. So switches being in different settings do different things, and both down is off. All right, next, lights. All right, the lights have 3 settings. All right. Now, if you think about the lights on this locomotive, and let's go outside real quick, because I figured this out in another playthrough. Your white lights are low. Your red light is high on this locomotive. This is same in the front. Your white lights are here, low, and your red light is high. So, if the switch is in the upright position, front and rear, that's showing red. So we want our rear light to be red, so we flip this switch up. And we want our front lights to be white, so we leave it down. All right? Now, this is off. Now you have dim front lights and like daytime rear light. I think that's right. Yeah. Now you come in and you flip the front lights up, and now they should be extra bright. These are your brights. Yeah. So these are your brights on your front lights. So if these are up, you're bright. If they're down, they're just regular. Okay? So, but this is on and this is on. This is regular brightness, and this is high beams. Okay? All right. Other gauges here. This is your oil gauge, oil level gauge. Your brake pipe, that's for the whole train. Your main reservoir, that's in your locomotive. Then you got your oil temperature and your tachometer, your speed, and how much sand you have, and whether your sander is on. That's what this light is. These lights are overheating, and this gauge down here is your fuel. All right, this is your brake. It's it brakes like a steam locomotive. You push it forward until a certain amount of brake applies, and then you back it off into a middle position. Like there's this position, this is brake on, and then it goes up different levels, and when you get there, you put it in this middle position, and that's where it holds. The brake pressure will hold. Then when you're done with that and you want to turn the brakes off, then you slide this back. All right, this is the train brake, open and closed. So this'll, if this is in the open position, this is closed right now. If it's in open, then these brakes also control the brakes on the train car. This is your fuel cutoff. That turns the engine off. This little wheel activates the sander, your horn, and this is your train brake, your independent brake. This is the brake for the locomotive. This engine has an engine brake. This is the forward and reverser, and this is your throttle. Now, this engine is manually operated. It has manual. It has like a gear shifter. So here's your first gear, configuration of the handles for second gear, third gear, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth gears. So it's, up, so it has a gearbox underneath it. So it's challenging to drive. So I would highly recommend, if this is your first time taking this locomotive out, start up a sandbox session and just play with this locomotive until you get a feel for how the controls work, how the brakes work, the whole 9 yards. Just take one evening, couple hours, and just mess around with it. Get comfortable with it before you bring it back and play it in the game. I've been doing that in the sandbox and in another game session, and it was very helpful, so that's why I recommend that. Let's see, what else? So, as you notice, it has a drive bar, and the wheels kind of look like steam engine wheels. And when this rolls, this goes up and down, and it's controlled here by this cam piston in the back. And this is where the gearbox is. This actually has a cooling fan in it. So unlike the DE2, which is controlled only by the air wafting across the radiator, this actually has a fan in it to help keep it cool. I wish it worked better. All right, so there's most of the connections are the same. So let's take her out. Hop in and fire her up. It is a commanding. I usually keep the window open, cracked a little bit. I may not, because you won't be able to hear me. All right, this is the main train brake. That is off. And if I put this in first gear, she will start to creep forward. I'm going to give her a little bit of... So there's your tachometer. So if you've driven a stick shift car, you have a pretty good idea how this train is going to operate. All right, so get it on the turntable. There we go. All right, and we need to take this out backwards. Wrong way. Okay. What's a stick shift car? Oh, small child. Don't make me feel old. All right, here we go. All right, so watch. When that gets up towards 100, we want to shift. So you can just give it a little bit of throttle and she'll just maintain. She's not a whole lot of fun shunting with. I'll be upfront and honest with folks. Right now I have it in my third playthrough hooked up with a DE2 so that at least I can use the DE2 with the remote control and work on shunting. So we need to go all the way back here. Well, you made the joke there, Ember. Are you proud of yourself? Made me feel old, and probably everybody else in the channel. All right. So, as I said, it's got a gearbox. Now, you don't have to start in low gear, especially if you don't have any load on this behind it. All right, so we're going to need to go straight here and then back down into our locomotives. All right, so we go straight, and we're just going to leave it here in fourth gear. Take the brake off, head on in. Now, you should also notice that the further up with the locomotives that you get, the less visibility you get. So here we are. We're cruising along at about 15 kilometers an hour. We still have a little bit more speed. Still have a little bit more RPMs before we need to shift. So we might be able to get this up to about 18 mile an hour, maybe 20. You don't want to keep it in the red for very long because you'll blow out the transmission. So you want to be careful downshifting. You can downshift, but you want to be very careful. How are we doing? We just passed 1 hour in. Oh no, you're fine, Ember. Settle down. Ah, it was a long day. Had a lot of little projects at work today. So it was good. The day went by pretty fast. Also had to go see the dentist. Blah. See how the wheels go? It's kind of neat. Alright, need to slow down. So that's another benefit to this drivetrain is that it'll slow itself down. The transmission acts as its own brake. All right, so we got to go to 2. Well, we got to go to 3, hook up to our engines, and then go to 2. Now, because it costs us money, granted it's only 8,000 right now. To maintain and repair the vehicles, we don't want to keep too many. We only want to run what we need to run. So, but we're going to run with all 3, and we'll drop off the 3rd locomotive at Harbor in town when we get there. It's you kind of feel wistful about it, you know, because it's like, oh, the little engine that kind of helped me all the way through to where we're at. You do have good visibility out the back for shunting, but so what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the gadgets that we mounted in our lead engine and mount them in here. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't and show how this thing runs without it. I'll do that. I'll do that because that way we'll play with it stock before we get it all dressed up. How we doing on speed? About 7 kilometers an hour. And we're just coasting. Oh, hey, we have our first spam account. How we doing? Dunk. And that's the train we want to take. Forward we go. Break off. Oh, you know what? I had to do maintenance on them, so their engine brakes are on. Now we should move. Yep. There we go. All right, so like I said with the brake, all right, so switch that one, and that switch is correct. That's off, and that's off, okay. Time to back up. Brake off. As I said, shunting is a bit more challenging in this beast, especially when you got two other locomotives behind you. The brakes are shown there. How are we doing on the... All right, slowing down well. It's about where we want to be. Yep, holding. Just about there. Just up. Looked like we were just about there. We are nowhere near just about there. Closer, closer. That'll hold. Brake is off. Check the last car just to make sure it's off. Yep. All right, let's turn this job in and get headed towards, what time is it? A little after 6. Gonna be a little foggy, but that's okay. All right. So this is about what we hauled to... Hey, Caddy! So this is what we hauled weight-wise with just the 2 DE2s, but now we're taking it to harbor. So let's get our route. We're going to come out of Steel Mill. We're going to make a stay to the left. We're going to stay to the left. Stay to the left. Stay to the left. Go right. That's set right. And then down. And then we go to the left. And then down into harbor. Now, this job needs to go to E9I. All right, E9I. Oops. Harbor and town. So we're going to need to back in and then, so we're going to come into harbor. That's right. That's, don't worry, that's right. So we're going to pull down into Sea Yard. We're going to go right, right, and down into the loading yard so we can back in with our locomotive and then back our train down into E9. So let's go to wait a minute. So we're going to come out of here. So we're going to have to set that manually. Come out of here, stay left, and then into the E yard, E9, which is down here. So we want to go right, 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 left into 9. And then we'll back the train into 9. Left, right, 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 right. Okay. So all our switches are good. So we're ready to take a ride. Hey, Madeline, thanks for stopping by. Oh, maybe that's a spammer too. All right. So we're going to take a trip in the dark. Let's fire up this one just to give us our backup. Nope. Okay, good. It's set up for the back to this one. The last train is not going to be hooked up, powered up at all. Shouldn't need it. All right, so All right, let's close some doors. Brakes are off. Forward. Brakes off. We can. Let's start it in second just to make sure. RPMs out of this. Next switches to the left, that's correct. This is an uphill here, so I'm trying to get. All right, and so as you notice, I'm skipping gears. So I started in 2, I went to 4, now I'm at 6. You could do that with this locomotive. Check your oil temperature. Now what I have noticed with this locomotive is that if you pull the throttle all the way back, and it's all the way back, that's when your oil temperature gets up into the red and you start to get your overheating light. But if you take it a notch off of the back, the heat drops off. So we're going to use our DE2 to help augment our speed here up this grade. So we don't have to downshift. We're starting to lose some speed here on the grade. So you downshift, try and get more power out of it. Give ourselves some sand. See, we're hot, but we're not hitting. We're not in the red yet, so we need all the oomph we can get here. We're at 15 kilometers an hour, and we're pulling almost 600 tons. We're pulling we're probably pulling 600 tons between the weight of the load and the weight of these locomotives. And here I went over to DE2. I didn't even look at the page in the. How we doing? Heat wise, we're stable. Sand, we're good. Sander is on. You can see the lights on. How we doing? We are just about to the junction. We are almost at the top of this grade. How's the engine behind us? She's not overheating. The brake is off. This brake is off. All right. 0.2 kilometers to the junction. Looking ahead, it looks like our switch is to the left. That is correct. We should start to gain some speed here. We're leveling out. Again, you can see why all those little gadgets are so useful. And this engine is very noisy. I don't know what's still open. Nothing. Yep, the switch is set to the left. And a few more RPMs, I'm going to have to upshift. Shift up. Still a bit of grade here, that's okay. So just leave it. Yeah, okay. Back that off a little bit. See, high beams, no beams. High beams, low beams. And this switch should be to the right. And now once the rest of our cars get over, we'll be on a downgrade. This should start increasing our speed. Turn off the sand because we don't need that anymore. And now we're at 8th gear. I think that was correct. Yes. And we can shut the DE2 down, and we'll just use the DM3. Definitely not as picturesque in the at night, especially with the fog going. In model railroad mode. Whee! Can't even see us. What's my favorite part of the game? Um, that nothing is the same. Every time, every job is a new puzzle to be solved, and it just doesn't get old. I take that back. It gets a little old once you've kind of got a nice nest egg of a couple $1 million in your wallet, and you have a lot of the things unlocked. Then it's and you have the biggest engine available. Then yeah, you struggle up some grades sometimes, but the game is easy then. Um, that's why I went back and started a new session because the challenge is starting from scratch and making it and um, fixing the derelict engines that are scattered around the map, finding those, and then taking them to the museum, and then putting a lot of funds into repairing them and basically making them your own. Um, that's all of that is the fun part. Once you get all that done, then you're just running from place to place, and while the puzzles are still there, the you got so much money that it's like, I can just do whatever. I mean, there's customizations. There's a lot of stuff to spend money on that I didn't spend money on, but but and this game is still being worked on, so there's uh, a good possibility that more content will be released, and more content in the way of new locomotives or new routes or new locations to haul back and forth to. So, uh, but what's my favorite part? I think just the prototypical gameplay and how every job, whether it's shunting or a freight haul, is a puzzle to be solved. So that's what I enjoy. I had model trains as a kid, and I take videos of real trains along the right of ways and post those to my YouTube as well. So I've always been a fan of railroads. I had MS Train Simulator, which was purchased by Dovetail for a decade and a half, maybe 2 decades. And while it scratched that itch that having a train simulator um, it gives you, this just takes it to a different level. You're actually building a career. You are taking jobs and making choices, and the choices you make impact how well you do. So uh, it's it's in my opinion, it's the perfect game for what I'm interested in. As you can see, it's very dark out. I have to put the brights on, but it's foggy, so the brights aren't helping. Where are we on the map? See, you can barely see it too. That's why I like to have a lantern in here. Okay, we're getting close. We're not breaking any speed records, that's for sure. No. Did that answer your question, Ember? Or was it more than what you wanted? How was your day, Caddy? Are you still around? All right, so without the clinometer, I don't know what the gradient is on this track, except for looking at the speed signs. We're coming up on the next interchange. We need to go to the right. Everything is set up right. Yeah, well, I've had to think about it a lot as far as, what is it about this game that has really just drawn me in. All right, good. The switch is set to the right. That's the way we need to go. 60 kilometer speed, and we are barely doing 40, so. And we're going down, so. All right, so we're going down. I'm going to take the throttle out and play a little bit with the engine brake. All right, see, we're going over 40, closing in on 45. So I'm going to apply the engine brake. You can only apply the engine brake if the throttle is off. Okay, there's a 40 mile an hour, so we really need to get the... We got to get ourselves woed up. There we go. That's woed us up a bit. Okay, woed us up too much. So with this locomotive, you can't run with the engine brake and have the throttle on at the same time. If you need to throttle up, you need to take the engine brake all the way off. Now you can take the engine brake off, work with the train brake, and have the throttle on. That works, but other way it does not. All right, so we're having a nice controlled descent. I know just from experience that this is all downhill here. So what I just need to do, throttle is off. I just need to monitor the speed and make sure that I don't exceed the limits for the turns in the track. And we are doing fine. 40 kilometers an hour I know is safe down this grade, because the slowest speed is 40 at any one place. So here's another one. So how we doing? Okay, so now I got to add a little brake. Brake until I get to where I want my speed, and then I turn the brake off and let the engine brake handle it. That's why encourage folks, if you're playing this game, if you pick this game up and you play it, when you get to this locomotive, uh, take it and play around with it in the sandbox mode, not in one of the career modes. And sandbox mode is it's the same as career mode, except you start off with a lot more funds. But you can play with this there, and it doesn't ruin your career mode game. All right, so we're speeding up again, coming up on the interchange, and I need to be at 40. Here we are at the interchange, going off to the left. That is correct. That's the way to go to Harbor. And our speed limit is 40 kilometers an hour. We're going a little fast, so let's try a little brake. That's probably a lot of brake. Harbor is out there. All those dots, wherever they are. We have to focus on our train here. This is a very steep downhill. So long as you keep it under 50, you'll be okay. The brake is holding. Engine brake is helping. The engine brake is amazing for these downhill sections. All right, and here we are back in Harbor. Switch is correct. We're at a 40 mile an hour on the turn. Cut the brake back out. We are on the level. We can take the engine brake off. And we can probably... Nope, let's not do that. Drop it back to there. All right, so we've passed the roundhouse. So our next switch, we should be going to the right once we see it. So we can go down into the C yard and then back this train into E yard. And there we are. There's the switch there, barely visible. To the right. That's the way we want to go. right, looking ahead. Right and right. We could have gone straight ahead, but you never know. But usually a loading track will be empty. So all else fails, and you can pull yourself into a loading track when you're setting up your switches before you start. That's always a good bet. It also works when you're passing through other industries on your way. All right, I'm going to start slowing down. And let's see how we're doing with the end of the train. Okay, no, we're far enough in. So I need to switch this and then put her into reverse. All right, so I started it in fourth gear. If I had started it in a lower gear, I probably would have picked up speed faster. But I'm going to jump out anyway. So I want to make sure the rest of my... So this is right. That one's right. That switch is right. And now we're going into the E yard. I need to be to the right. Perfect. And then my next switch needs to go to the right. It is. This switch to the right. This switch to the right. And this switch should take us to track 9. Right there. 9I. So perfect. All our switches are right. Let's head back in the dark. There's the end of our train. Still have oomph left. How's our RPMs? Good. Speed closing in on 20. It really isn't. It's pretty good. I mean, I could. That'll probably make it up to 20. That's fast enough, really. How are we doing on time? Oh, all right. Well, if you guys stick with me, we're almost to 9 o'clock. Our 2 hours is almost up. But if you stick with me, we'll get this parked and turned in and call it a night. So you can see the end of the train is in the E yard now, just making its turn. See it up there? One more switch and then it'll swing to the left and start down the line. So I'm going to throttle back. And apply some brake. Set the brake. We are well behind the... All right, and here we are back at harbor. Nice quick into track E9I. Let's turn her in. We had 34 minutes. We did it. We had 47 minutes. We did it in 34. So our 20,000 base payment got an extra 10. So we made 31. So basically, this load, we made back what we paid for the license for the DM3. So we basically paid ourselves back. There we go, 103K. So we were like 113 before we paid down the fees and then bought the license. So the $8,000 fees is also, but we'll pick that up with a shunting job here in Harbor and Town at our next game. So here we go. We took 2 freight hauls and have gone from from Food Factory to Oil Well North, then to Steel Mill, where we picked up our DM3. We upgraded our locomotive and took a load of steel out of Steel Mill with the DM3 and the 2 DE2s and brought them here to Harbor. So here we go. There's our game for the day, and we're going to grab a screenshot of our new locomotives. And there we go. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. Wild, Live, Ember, Caddy, and everybody else that didn't chime. Oh, Watch. I forgot Watch. Anybody else that didn't chime in, thanks for joining me. So if you enjoy what you see, please give me a follow so that you're notified when I am streaming. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you like it, I'm trying to build my community there. So please subscribe and leave a comment. I'm always looking forward to replying back to other folks. So thanks again. Be safe, stay healthy, look out for one another, and peace. Have a good night, all.